You're watching the lazeezee review show, brought to you by lazeezee. You are watching Sweetie Girl Production. It's like that. Snap, snap. So hello out there, YouTube land. Welcome to lazeezee review. We talk about shit I want to talk about. Yeah. You know the rules. You know how I get down. So today's topic is gonna be about hello, you Puerto Rican. Why you don't know fucking Spanish? Get it together. Yes, that very controversial topic right here on the lazeezee review. Stay tuned. So today on the lazeezee review, we're gonna be discussing you Puerto Rican. Yeah, like I said, hello. Why you don't speak Spanish? What's the problem? Get it together. Figure it out. All right. Now, I'm one of those people that you're talking about. You got a whole bunch of videos out here on YouTube. YouTube, I love it. And they over here talking about this, that, and that, and the third. And one of those topics is, hello, why you don't know Spanish? What the fuck? I came from this country and that country and this country, and I came to America and I know English. What's the problem? I've been here for 2 minutes and I know English. What's the fucking problem? And you get a lot of, girls and guys doing that one, right? Well, I'm here to tell you. There's a reason for that. There's a few reasons for why people don't know Spanish. And they, grew up with Puerto Rican, family members that do speak Spanish. And I'm going to tell you why. Number one, the interest. The interest has to be there. And a lot of these kids today don't show any interest in wanting to listen to, their elders talk. So when they hear them going, mira papi, tú se, they go like, see. And they looking this way and that way, trying to figure out an exit, exit stage left. They just trying to get the fuck out of there. And they just like, whew, she was starting to talk that Spanish. And they get all scared about it, right? And you got that. That's a bad reason. That's a fucked up reason. Okay. And some of us was like that too. When I was growing up, we were kind of like that. We were like, oh, she's talking Spanish, let's go and stuff. And you running and stuff. But we wanted to figure out more. We wanted to understand. Understand, comprehend more our grandparents or the people that talk Spanish only. Because we wanted to learn from them. We cared about history and stuff like that. So they had something to say. We wanted to learn from them. And a lot of times they put us invisible. They did. And they talked to us in English, in fucked up English, Spanglish, or whatever the hell you call it. They'd be like, mira, you want to eat cake? Okay, espérate. You go to the refrigerator, you go get. And they would talk to you in that fucked up, English. So they weren't teaching you. They teaching you fucked up Spanglish or, fucked up English or whatever. They fucking screwing up the language that you already know. And they're not teaching you. That's one thing. And number two, you got your family and friends as you get older that do speak, they're bilingual. They speak both languages, right? So then you do ask them. Sometimes you have an interest and you do ask them. And I got a lot of this too when I was growing up. Mira, so what's that? What's that word when you, and they're like, huh? Wait, hold on. Wait. And then they just forget about it or they don't answer you. And they don't have an interest in teaching you or you learning. And then if you like me and you got your mother that does speak both languages, but she don't speak it at home to you. She don't. She speaks it kind of fucked up. She might say go to the bathroom and take a bath in Spanish, but for the most part, she don't speak anything else to you in Spanish. So you understand how to say that or you understand that. Now for me, I'm going to give you my experience on learning Spanish. I didn't really develop that big of an interest until I got older. That's the truth. Okay, nobody seemed to have an interest in teaching us either, and that's the truth as well. And then they would do this. You should know Spanish, but who the fuck was talking it to us? Now, let me tell you something about languages. You can't learn a language unless they're speaking to you as a little child. As a little child, they're not speaking that language, so you're not going to pick it up. It's not magic. You don't just look at somebody's eyes and go, mira que tú sabes. That's not how it works. You have to be spoken to. The reason why you kids out there that do know Spanish is because your parents were talking to you in Spanish. They weren't just talking to you fucked up English. They were talking to you in Spanish. They were telling you, listen, let's go to the store. Let's buy this. What's this? We're going to eat meat. We're going to eat that. And they were saying all that shit in Spanish. And then you picked up English when you had friends next door, other family members or school and stuff like that. And you speak the English and you speak the Spanish, right? Because you got the best of both worlds. We didn't have it like that. Our parents were talking to us in English, talking to their friends and their mothers and their fathers and their titis and stuff in Spanish on the phone like this. Mira que te wait. And then when you was little, you was like, Ma, what's a sapo? What's a Wait, hold on. It's a frog. Hold on. Leave me alone. And then it's like that. And they had an attitude about it. I see it like this. Let's say I'm speaking another language, Chinese, German, whatever, right? And I have a little kid coming around me, ask me what that word is. I'm going to stop or say, wait, hold on. And I'm going to try to teach the kid the language. I'm going to try to point out things every so often and tell them what it is. Or at least speak it to them. Just speak it to them because you learn by people just being hands-on. That's how most people learn, hands-on. You can't just like talk about it. You got to talk it to them. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. the most time in life I've ever learned the most Spanish in my life. Okay, that's how I want to say it. The most Spanish I ever learned in life. Okay, was when I met my honey. He spoke it so good that he used to speak it to me. He used to literally speak it in the house. Sometimes I would say, "Would you stop?" But then that's how I learned it. I learned it a lot faster with him than I did in all my years living at home with tons of Spanish speaking people because they spoke to me in English. Well, he would actually speak in the house Spanish. And then in English and Spanish. And a lot of times he'll tell me a whole story in Spanish. He'll come from the street and tell me about a bochinche, that's a gossip. And he'd be like, mira pa allá, da 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 da. And he's telling me, and I'm like, yeah, wow, that's crazy. I speak back to him in English, though. And if it's too much complicated what he's saying, or he says a word I don't understand, I go, what's that word? What's that word? And he'll tell me the word quick. He also goes like that, and he gets frustrated because he also is another one. He's on that page where everybody else, where they believe I should have magically, deliciously already, came here going, oh, speaking Spanish. And that's not the way it works. Homegirl, homeboy, or whatever, right? It doesn't work like that. There you go. Now, this video is not just a rant on why, us Puerto Ricans don't speak Spanish. It's more like to get you to understand why, how that comes about. And how that comes about is this. Once again, let's recap. If you're not being spoken to in a language, it's being spoken to in English or in Chinese or in German or whatever, you're going to learn the language that you're being spoken to, that you're learning in school or whatever. That's the language you're going to learn. That's basically it in a nutshell, and it's that simple. Now, there's a lot of Puerto Ricans that they're nationalistic, like they're really into being Puerto Rican, and that's beautiful. But I'm not like that. That's number one. I think it's important to understand another language. Any language, though, for that matter, would have been cool with me. I mean, I'm not really like, oh, Spanish, and all this shit. Because let me tell you something. When I think about Spanish, the language, it comes from our conquerors anyway. I mean, it does. I mean, don't get all mad. Don't get your panties all tied up in the ass. It's the truth. If our parents were the slave and the master, right, we would be learning the language of the master. That would be the Spanish, right? So that's our master's language. And it's cool, it's whatever, and it's good to know it. But it's not like, the biggest thing in my life. I love knowing Spanish, though. I think it's very important because I could talk to, my Puerto Rican brothers and sisters out there in the world, and that's fantastic. And I love to be able to talk to them. So as I got older, I learned how to appreciate that language a little more because it's my grandmother's main language, and then I could talk to her. And I talk to her, and to this day, she gives me the funny face like, ay, bendito, and you try, and and it's a big deal to her when I'm fucking up her language left and right. I mean, she fucks up my English language, and I'll fuck up her Spanish language, but, whatever. The whole moral to this video is try. If you want to learn Spanish, try. Figure it out. Listen to, Puerto Rican brothers and sisters out there that speak the language and, tell them to help you out with it. The best way to learn Spanish is by learning it at home, though. If there's people in your life that do speak Spanish, tell them to speak to you in Spanish. Pick it up like that. It's going to be hard for them to do that because they tend to forget. But that's the only way you can learn Spanish. I'm going to be honest with you. Unless you're some linguistic genius out there, like some of you are, where you make these videos and go, I came to this country 2 seconds and I know how to speak English. What's the problem? Why you don't speak Spanish? And they go crazy. They get really angry about it. And I'm left there watching this shit like, sorry, mamita, I'm not a linguistic genius. Now, that's pretty much all I want to talk about with language. It's like that. Like I said, if you want people to understand Spanish, teach it to them when they're little, and they would understand it, and that's great. A lot of my friends learned it, and they speak it so wonderful. You go to their house, their parents are speaking Spanish to them, and that's why they know both languages perfectly. There you go. That's the way it is. Before I end this video, I want to talk about real quick about my haters out there, my Hispanic haters out there that say things like this, because I want to address this. They say things like, she looks black. She's not Puerto Rican, she looks black. And I want to mention this to you. My grandmother, she looks black. My grandfather, he looked white. Okay? And because of that, my mother came out looking like a mulatto, a half-breed, whatever. And I think it's fantastic, right? And a lot of my uncles and aunts came out looking like that too as well. Except for the ones that came out looking, Indian or something. But I will tell you this. I'm very proud of my mulatto features. If that's a problem for you, sit on this, whatever. And if you don't want to watch my videos because I look black to you, kaboof and boom and bye. That's it, right? And as for being black, right? Being black or even looking black, I'm fantastic with it. And I'll tell you why. Because, that's my African ancestry. And African people are very strong in their genetic, makeup. So that's like, yay! Thank you, African ancestry. Yes. And I want you to know that I'm happy about it and I embrace it. And not only that, look, hair's natural. I almost never straighten my hair. I like my hair natural. I like to be a natural, beautiful mermaid. I embrace all the 7,000 million bloods coursing through my veins, and you should as well. Now, as for being nationalistic and being Puerto Rican this way, like, Wepa, yeah, Wepa, Boricua, and all that, that's beautiful and everything. And I am, very proud to be Puerto Rican. But more than anything, I'm more happy to be human on the planet Earth. Like I said in prior videos before, I'm not very nationalistic. I probably said that here, And what I mean by that is, I've been to the Puerto Rican Day Parade when it was cool. And then shit got real out of hand. Motherfuckers want to be grabbing pussy and ass and disrespecting, throwing water on women. And it's disgusting. And now, before I go to the Puerto Rican Day Parade and be made a fool of by my own people, yes, I'd rather go to Orchard Beach, which they used to call Chocha Beach. But yes, I will admit, it changed a lot. I'd rather go to Orchard Beach. Excuse you, squeeze me. I don't do the parade. There you go. So that's basically it, and that's all. If you're Puerto Rican, saludas. And if you're not, saludas. All the people from the planet Earth, lazeezee is with you. There you go. So like I always say, click like. Don't forget, rate, comment, and subscribe. I'm here for you. You know that I am always here for you. Mommy loves you very much. And thanks for watching my show. Bye-bye. See you next time.